All right, hello everyone, good evening, and welcome to the loft. So we are going to be doing a beautiful class. It's actually, it's afternoon here, and the light is already going away outside. So I've got the light on. Hopefully you guys can see me without any problem. For class, I do have the camera set up at a different angle tonight because I needed the my iPad to be plugged in order to charge up while we're doing the class. So yeah, totally different concept. Tonight's theme is about, I wrote the word believe down, and I wrote believe down because I felt that the spirit of Christmas and the spirit of the story of the Bible, that we had a Savior come in order to bring us into a new light. They call Jesus the light of God, and when we're thinking from that perspective, it's because we're supposed to have some type of movement away from where we were. So if you're feeling, especially in the wintertime, like you've been hibernating and that certain things are dying off, at some point you have to have a hope or a reason to come out of that hibernation. And so this class, even though we're doing it tonight, it could be really utilized for any time, because it's that motivation to say, hey, even no matter where you are, no matter what you might be going through, please know that there's a reason to wake up the next day. There's a reason to motivate yourself and bring yourself into the light so that you can continue on whatever your journey is here to do. So that's where the theme idea came from. I was just like thinking about Christmas and the holidays in general, and I that's just what came. Was it's about motivation and hope in order to carry yourself forward. So I wrote blessings for moving forward, and then I went a little bit deeper and was like, okay, so what do we do when we're using movement? And of course it was feet and legs. So that's where the concept came in for the poses that were chosen for tonight's class. We're going to be doing caterpillar, dragonfly, child's pose with a toe tuck, because it actually will stretch and open up the arches of your feet, working into your ankles as well. We're going to be doing dragon, which we haven't done in so long, because the dragon is what's going to help open up the quads and the hamstrings back here for you, the inner thighs as well, to hopefully spark the love and the energy back into your meridian lines that are running through your legs, so that we can feel that motivation that we need. We'll do a little reclining hero as well to end things before we go into Shavasana. So I highly encourage you guys, if you've got crystals or anything that you like to be attuned with while you're doing class, any essential oils. The one that I grabbed today is orange, because orange is a very highly motivated essential oil. So I'm going to just kind of take a big whiff of it before I start teaching and doing the poses. I will be doing the poses with you. I do have Trisha and Linda here with me tonight as well on a Zoom call, but I am recording to you guys through YouTube. So again, welcome wherever you are and whenever you happen to be watching this. Let's go ahead and start by getting into an easy pose before we go into the first one. Let's go ahead and disconnect from everything that's going on in the world around us. Find an easy pose, feeling the sits bones connect to the floor. Allow the pelvic girdle to activate in a nice support system for the muscles in your low back, helping you to lengthen in the spine, feeling it long and tall. Feeling the shoulders as the spine lengthens, feeling the shoulders relax down and back the body. And then when you're ready, close your eyes. Begin to feel yourself right here in this particular space, in this particular time. in this specific energy. We come forth with an intention tonight of believing in our own motivation. The motivation that brings us onto this planet and out into the world, where we can learn and experience, where we can grow and we can share. And so with gratitude, we call in our higher self, our own angels and guides, to come in and please bless us throughout this class, protect our space, past, present, and future, to bring about any healing that might be necessary, to bring about awareness, to bring about compassion, and the ability and the allowing of us to be able to receive what is in our highest good by this self-care time that we are beginning right here and right now. Giving yourself permission to let go of thoughts, feelings, and emotions that might be in the forefront of your mind. Feeling ready to get to know our body and listen to the sensations that our body is willing to share during our practice. Feel the breath as it comes in through your nose. Feel the warm air as you breathe out through your nose. And then the next time you breathe in, feel the belly expand and contract. When you're breathing, not only feel the belly expand, but imagine that it can expand all the way up into the lungs and maybe even beyond the lungs into the cells of your body. And you can use your mind to bring that awareness in. When you begin to inhale, feel the belly expand out. But then as you're still breathing in, feel it go all the way up into the chest. And then also feel it going maybe even further, like out through your arms and out through your legs. And then when you're ready to exhale, feel all of that air push as though all of your whole body is letting go of what it was holding on to that was wrapped up in the energy of that breath. And we'll just do that a couple more times, just helping to kind of ground you, to set you and anchor you into Mother Earth where she can nourish you today while you're practicing. And the more aware you are with your breath, the more aware you are with your body. All right, begin to open up your eyes, and we're going to move into our first pose. So caterpillar is where the legs are straight out. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me a little bit better. So the legs are straight out, and this is a big pull through the back of the legs into the hamstrings. It could be a pull behind the knees or the calves as well. Just like usual, you're going into the range of motion that works for you today, and then you're stopping. Then you want to relax all the muscles around the joints so we can get into the connective tissue. So I usually encourage lean over and see how far you go. Now, hanging out is fine. If you don't want to use any props, that's totally up to you. But if you like having something to rest on, then pull in some pillows or some blankets. For me, my range of motion right now is not that great. I'm actually leaning over and I'm actually finding that I can't really get far enough over that my back and my neck are comfortable. So I'm going to pull them up on top of me and lean like this. So I encourage you to do whatever you need to do as well. And then try to soften through the shoulders, try to soften through the back of the neck. You guys also have options if your neck is sore. Then maybe you might want to bring a pillow or a block in to rest your forehead on too. Because if your forehead is resting on a prop, it takes all that pressure out of the muscles of the back of your neck. Okay, so we're going to be here for a couple minutes. Remember, just going into the range of motion that works and then softening yourself up. If you're not quite sure how to soften yourself up, you think about where you're feeling the sensations in the body. Is it the hips, the glutes? Is it the back of the thighs, the back of the knees, wherever that sensation is? And you imagine that you can soften it somehow, some way, using images in your mind or colors in your mind or even just the words to soften, to turn off, to turn loose, to let loose, things like that. All you're doing is setting an intention for your body in response to the sensations that you are feeling. And all the while, you're breathing. In and out. Good, one more minute. Good. One more deep cleansing breath in through the nose. Let's do a big exhale out through the mouth. Okay. Go ahead and engage your belly. Squeeze those abdominal muscles and roll up. You can take your props off and set them to the side. We're moving into dragonfly next. Now, dragonfly is where the legs actually open up big and wide. Big V. Okay. Same concept, you guys, moving forward. It's a matter of leaning forward, but here's the deal. Now, instead of our legs being in front of us, now we've got the floor. So, for me, obviously, my ability to lean over is a little bit better than it was in the first pose because I'm starting to soften a little bit more, but I still need the floor to be a little bit higher if I want to take all the pressure out of my upper body. So again, I pull the pillows in, blocks in, whatever you might need, and I'm going to lean on to them. Here's the thing, for some of you, if you're experiencing pain in the knees, in the back of the knees, then again, take a soft, small pillow, a block, or a blanket, and you can place it under the knee, and it will prop the knee up and release the pressure through the back of it. So whatever you need to do, no judgment, no expectations on these poses. We are where we are today, and that's perfectly well. Again, we're in gratitude for what our legs, our feet, what our body is doing for us in order to keep us moving forward. We are fortunate ones that we still have all of this physical mobility, with the legs, but giving it a lot of love, appreciation, gratitude, and time, some self-care time, is definitely making a difference every single day. So we'll be in this pose for about 3 minutes. And I will tell Trisha and Linda, if you guys need anything from me, just unmute and give me a heads up or holler at me, and I'm happy to assist you. Having our legs wider apart, we can feel the inner hamstrings now. If I know mine are talking to me again, because it's been a week since I did this pose, so it's reminding me that I had been doing a lot of walking in the snow, and it's telling me to breathe into them. So if yours are talking to you in the same fashion, maybe not because you went on a snow walk, but whatever it might be, then breathe some love into yours. I'm being enticed to remind you about the glute muscles. Don't contract them. See if you can soften through the glutes as well. If you're feeling any pain in your back, use your abdominal muscles to be the support. If you don't have props that you can bring in to actually let you rest fully onto them, then use the abdominal muscles. The glutes and all that will coincide with them, but it will help you to at least try to relax through the bottom parts of the glutes into the hamstrings. Good. We've got about 1 more minute, a little less than that. Breathing and softening. All right, let's take another breath. So inhale through the nose, nice and deep. Let it try to expand through the chest and through the body. At the top of that inhale, maybe hold it for just a couple seconds, and the big exhale. Good. Engage your belly. Inhale. Bring yourself back up. Okay, taking your props, setting them off to the side. We're going to come into child's pose because we are going to be moving into a yin version of camel, and then the toe tuck after that. So with child's pose, knees and feet can either be together, or you can have the knees open wide. Again, if you want props to bring the floor up higher for you, don't hesitate to grab some pillows. Otherwise, just allowing yourself to lean straight out and forward, stretching through the upper back and shoulders. This is obviously a nice compression through the hips, the knees, and the ankles. If it's too much, then bring a pillow or a blanket back behind your bottom on top of the calves and sit back on that prop in order to create more space for yourself back there. Whatever helps you to be in a happy place while you're in your poses. Arms can either be stretched out in front or they can be behind you with the palms up in full balasana. Wherever you are, bringing your awareness into your breath. Try to breathe in through the back side of your body and out through the front side of the body. Pay attention to the thoughts that are in your mind, using the breath to push the thoughts out, asking your higher self, your angels, and your guides to take these thoughts, feelings, and emotions and process them back to love so that you can just come back into a nice, neutral, mental, physical, and emotional state of being. I always think of surrendering in a pose like this. I'm surrendering to whatever my purpose is. I'm surrendering to acknowledging that there is so much more potential than I can imagine that I have. Giving myself permission to be open to that potential. Good. One more minute. All right. Engage your belly. Squeeze those muscles nice and tight as you inhale to roll up. And we're going to sit up on to the knees and the shins here. So when we do our yin version of camel, I'll try to turn to the side. I think I have to move out or I'm going to hit the ceiling. When you're up on your knees, go ahead and separate your feet if they were touching. Separate them so that they're in line with the knees, and then press through the tops of the feet down into the floor. Because what that's going to do is anchor you like kickstands, and then press your hips forward. So when you press your hips forward and you're anchoring through your shins and your top of the feet, then you can bring your hands to your hips and then pull your shoulders back. Okay, from here, again, this is just a mild yin version of camel. Begin to slide both hands to your low back, and maybe even back like you have pockets where they're resting on the back of the glutes. If it's too much for the shoulders, you can just bring them right back to where we started, where we were just hands on hips. So you got a few different places that you can bring your hands in order to be comfortable. With your hips pressing forward, it's to open up through the front side of the body. Maybe it even feels good to relax your head back. I'm going to leave that up to you. We're not going to be staying here very long. We just want to take about 4 cleansing breaths. So we'll do that together. Pushing all the air out of your body on your next exhale. And then breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale. Breath number 2. Inhale. pressing the hips forward, lifting through the heart center, drawing the shoulders back, maybe just a tad more. Exhale. Breath number 3. Inhale. Keep pressing through the shins, anchoring yourself down. Not a lot of pressure here. Exhale. Good. One more time together. Inhale, breathing in. Hips pushing forward. Open heart here, big and open. Filling up with the grace and the ease that is here for you. Big exhale and sit your hips back. Okay, we're moving into the toe tuck. So this is where you're coming back up onto the hands and the knees, and then you're going to take your feet and you're going to tuck the toes under, just like that. Okay? Now, for some of you, just tucking the toes under like that is enough. You might already be like, okay, that's a big stretch. That's plenty, no more. And you can stay there. For others of you, you might be able to bring your hips back to your heels and intensify and deepen that stretch even more. Some of you might even be able to bring your hands up off the floor and sit all the way up to where now the only thing touching the floor are the knees and the toes. Wherever you are, and do encourage you to kind of reach back and pull that pinky toe out. Make sure that all of the toes are connected or open to be connected to the floor. Depends on the design of your feet, whether all 5 toes touch, but you want to just make sure that they're open and have their space there. And again, we are breathing. We're only staying here 1 more minute. So you guys utilize your breath. Help it to carry through. This is the pose that activates all the meridian lines in your body, and they're running to all of the organs in your body. So this is stimulating. This is the motivated, pose that we bring into this practice tonight to say, wake up. Wake up, turn on, right? All right, good. Let's just take a few breaths together. So inhale and exhale. Wherever you are, I want you to breathe in through the back of your ribs. Breathe it in. Exhale through the mouth. Do 3 more of those. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Last one. Breathe in. And big exhale. Good. Hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, bring your hips forward if you were sitting back. Lift both feet up off the floor and baby tap the top of your feet into the mat. So little baby taps, tap, 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 tap. It will help release all of the tension, some of the pain that you might have been feeling. And then sit your hips back again. Stretch yourself back out into child's pose 1 more time. Just stretch. Let your body sink. It turns off. It turns loose. Good. All right. Maybe rotate your head a little bit from side to side. Looking left, looking right. Maybe tilting the head a couple times. Stretching through the back of your neck. On your next inhale, come back up onto all fours. All right, so here's where we're moving into dragon. All right. I'm going to start with my left foot forward so that I can openly show you guys the pose. So you're going to keep your right knee on the floor. You're going to bring your left foot up, and you want the left foot to be directly under the left knee. Then, if you slide the right knee back, keep an eye on the left foot that it stays under the left knee, because that's a good stack of those joints while you're stretching right here under the back of the left thigh. Okay, so we've got a big stretch, not only through the back of the left thigh, but now the right quadricep as well. So it depends on that stretch on how far back your right knee is going to go. So this is the first part of dragon, and we're going to do 3 parts tonight. I highly encourage you guys, because these are such great stretches for the legs. Take your time, breathe through the pose. If you've got your oils nearby, maybe this is a good time to take another whiff. Stay present mentally through these few poses here. These are the ones where you really want, it's almost like a challenge to you mentally and physically to be in these moments with purpose, saying, I honor my body, I understand and allow this stretching to happen, and I trust and believe that it's good for me. All right, we're going to go into the step 2 now that we've been here in this stretch for a little while. This is where you might be bringing your upper body down. Okay, notes to self. If you are not able to get both elbows on the ground while you are stretching like this, then that's where the blocks and the pillows come in handy again, because they bring the floor up higher. For some of you, you might be able to get your right elbow down, but you won't be able to get the left one down. So if you have a block, then just put it under the left elbow. Again, bring the floor up higher if that's what you need in order to be able to come down. Is it intensifying through the back of the left leg? Yes. Are you breathing into it? If the answer is no, then no judgment. Just take the breath there. You'll be glad you did. This is not about contracting. Make sure your left foot, maybe tap your left foot a couple times. There should be nothing contracting there. It's just a support system. I think if I were to close my eyes, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to go into the body. I'm just going to pay attention to where I'm feeling it. For me, I'm feeling it most in the front of the right hip. And that is because I've got my arms down on the ground. So the way that I can alter and change that pressure in the front of my right hip is to bring a pillow in and bring the floor higher. So again, it's just paying attention to what you're sensing, what you're feeling, and then making the tweaks, adding the props in order to help you. We're going to move into the third and final part of this particular dragon on this side, and that is to open up to the left. So when you're opening up to the left, I usually take my left hand, I put it on my left knee, and then I open, ooh, that was a big crack, open to the left side. My right arm, that elbow should be directly under your right shoulder. Again, stack your joints, making sure that you're nice and safe. You got a good support system there. Your left shoulder rolls back. Your whole upper body is basically twisting and you're looking up toward the ceiling. Keep your head and neck in line with your spine. If you want to roll your left big toe up and out to the left side of the room, that's a winged dragon, and it will open up the left knee. When your left toes come up and your feet roll out like this, then what happens is the knee opens out a little bit more too, and you twist, and your twist is a little deeper. Okay, you guys, just about 30 more seconds here. Time for at least 3 more deep cleansing breaths. All right, squeeze the belly, squeeze the glutes. You're going to bring your hands back into the floor to push yourself up. This is where you're now going to shift back with your hips. Your left toes will dorsiflex back, and you're going to feel a big stretch through the back of the left leg. Now, Go ahead and press yourself back so that you can feel that big, it's almost like a run, what they call a runner stretch here. And then shift your weight forward. You're going to bring both hands over to your right side toward the right knee. And then you're going to swing your right foot to the left so it will kickstand behind you. It was back to the right, and now it's going to come over to the left so that the knee and the foot is in line with each other and you're facing the side. This is putting you in a gate pose. You can turn your left foot on a diagonal so that it's in line with your yoga mat. And then if you want, you can slide that left leg down and sit back onto your right heel now and then lean forward. So this is what I call an open gate. We still have the left leg forward, but it's just elongated and stretched out. The foot is in line with the top of your yoga mat. We're leaning back onto the right hip and the right foot. And our body is just stretched forward. So this is a big stretch through the inner left thigh. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Again, engage your belly. Bring your hands under your shoulders and come back up onto the right knee. Go ahead and pull your left foot in so that you're back into a tabletop position, and bring yourself back into the middle of your mat. So you're basically turning your body to the left. Let's do a couple cat-cows here. I'm going to let you do that just with the rhythm of your own breath. And you probably feel like that left leg right now is probably feeling very different than the right. So we're going to go ahead and go into the other side. So we're going to bring your hands to the left and step your right foot forward. Remember, in order to keep the joints safe, the right knee will be over the right ankle, and you're going to slide your left leg back. When you slide the left leg back, it's a big pull through the left quad, front of the left hip, so be aware of how far that is. And then adjust again, make sure that the knee is still over the ankle. Good. This is the first part of the dragon. God, I can really tell. Getting older, my muscles, pretty sure it's my muscles. It almost feels like muscles and tendons that are near the joints. It's like I have to tell them, we're about to move. We're about to do something. They don't seem to have the, I don't know, the strength to move as quickly as I did when I was younger. It's like I have to prompt them and go, this is what we're about to do, you guys. And yeah, just breathe and be patient with my body as it's moving into it. All right, we're going to move into the second part of the dragon again, which is where you're bringing your upper body down to the floor. So if you pulled in props before, this time, if it's the left arm that can come all the way to the floor, but maybe not the right elbow, then bring the block in or bring the pillows in order to bring it a little bit higher. You can walk that right foot out a little closer to the edge of the mat to open the space up through the back of the right hip and through the back of the right thigh, if that's comfortable for you. Again, these are very deep stretches. Keep breathing for your body. As long as you keep giving it what it needs, it will continue to give back. And when you do it with love, it gives back with love. Breathe, you guys. Breathe with me. Breathing in breathing out. Again, breathing in and breathing out. The third part is where we open up so that right hand can come to the right knee. And then we open and turn and twist the right shoulder open. Remember that your left elbow should be under your left shoulder so that you've got a good solid kickstand. Again, right foot, maybe tap it a little bit to make sure that it's, again, a support system, but you shouldn't be tightening the toes or the arches of your feet. They should be relaxed. If you liked the wing dragon, then you're rotating the right big toe up in the air and you're rolling onto the outside of your right foot. And the right knee opens up more. Your body is able to twist more deeply. Maybe it feels good to pull the belly in toward the spine here. Both feet relaxed. Shoulders relaxed back. That right side relaxed back. Let yourself open up. Honoring where you are in this pose today. Good. 3 more breaths, you guys. You got this. Breathing in. Remember, when we come out, you're going to bring your hands back under your shoulders and push up. You're going to roll your right foot and right knee back into the center. And this is when we're going to start to rotate our body to your left. Then you're going to bring your left foot behind the knee and slide your right leg out. Your right foot is now in line with the mat. Sorry, my booty is more toward the camera. Sorry about that. Hopefully you're not looking so much at me. All right. Okay, we're going back to the gate pose, in other words. So, if your knee is okay on the left side, you're going to sit back on that heel while you're stretching the right leg out in the open gate position. And then you can bring your body forward and lay down. Big open stretch. But these are poses that, oh my God, I still love them so much, even though my body is like, oh, move slower. It keeps telling me, move slower, breathe more. And that's okay, but these poses are so incredible because you can do it slow. Even though it's so deep, it can be very slow, very purposeful, and very, very loving to your legs. So you guys take your time while we breathe for at least 1 more minute. I'm going to be quiet so you can focus on your breath. Fifteen more seconds. Go ahead and push up. Good. we sit back, and if you didn't sit back, I can't remember if we sat back and stretched this. If you dorsiflex your right toes back and kickstand your left foot back behind you again and just stretch through that right hip. Big stretch through the back of that thigh. And then we're going to come back to neutral. So I'm going to have you guys bring your right leg back in. We'll come back to all fours. And then this is where I'm going to have you come all the way down onto your belly so that we can fully let the front of the hips soften. Letting them melt basically into your mat. Open your feet. Mat width distance, rock your hips a little side to side. All the muscles through the front of your hips here, it's just like they can go, ah, thank you. Maybe baby tap the top of your feet again into the floor. And then we're going to move into the last pose, which is a reclining hero position. In this position, again, because it's going to be compression through the hips and the knees and the feet, then please make sure that you start bringing props in case you need them. So reclining hero is where you sit your hips between your heels. So if your heels are on if the front of your feet are on the floor and you go to sit back like we did when we were in toe tuck, but the toes aren't tucked here. The front of the feet are flat on the mat. And you sit your hips between your heels, then that's a hero position. If it's too much to do this, then you can come back out, and I'll come back to that pose in a second, but you can come back out and you can lay on your back and you can come into happy baby instead, okay? Where you're fully on your back, your feet are up in the air. That would be a counter pose for that. If you're okay in reclining hero from the hero position and the hips are back, then you may feel that you have the range of motion in the hip joints through the knees and the ankles to actually slide back until your elbows are on the ground. Now this is a big stretch through the quadriceps, so if it's too much, maybe you bring some blocks in. Maybe you bring some pillows back there to have something to rest your elbows on in order to bring the floor up higher. This is not a long hold time. This is only a couple minutes. So again, just wherever this pose may bring you today. I know some of you can go all the way to the ground. You can even bring your arms up over your head when you're lying back there. So again, it's honoring where your body is today while you're in this last position. Listening to the sensations of your body, honoring what it has to say, learning how to speak its language, using your breath. Love and gratitude. All right, if you're laying all the way back, you're going to bring your elbows back to the floor and then your hands back to the floor, and then you're going to press yourself back up. Once you come back up, we're going to lay back. You're going to slide your knees back and come back onto your belly. Open the feet as wide as the mat. Baby tap yourself out. This is just giving the muscles. If you were in happy baby, then you can basically just lower your legs back down to the floor. Rock your hips a little bit from side to side. If you are on your belly, go ahead and bring your hips up, bring your hands back under your shoulders. Tuck your toes maybe one more time and sit your hips back. Give yourself a toe tuck one more time. Maybe it would feel good to actually press all the way up into down dog and do one final stretch. Walk your feet out if you're doing that. And then we're going to come back down for Shavasana. So whatever position you would like to do your Shavasana today, if you want your legs up the wall, if you still want to recline back, if you want to do child's pose, I'm going to leave that up to you guys. Grab a blanket if you think you might get cold. Remember, you've got your oils with you. Those of you that do, maybe take another whiff right before you lay back to close your eyes. Brought some lavender up with me too. That one helps a lot, especially through what we just put our legs through. All right. Okay, so now all of that conscious effort that we just put into our body, now it's time to say we turn off, we turn loose, and we let loose. So close your eyes and bring your awareness into your feet and feel your feet and the weight of your feet surrendering its energy and efforts into the floor. Basically into Mother Earth. I do ask that your higher self, your angels and guides be present with us now as we open up opportunities for each of you that are watching to bring in what other messages, healing aspects that might be beneficial for you at this time. So as your feet are relaxing the muscles, we're giving them permission to turn off. And everything that you've walked through today, we now ask it to disconnect. Everything that your feet touched. Feel the back of the legs and the back of the hips. Allow them to feel heavy and weighted into the floor. And giving them permission also to turn loose and let loose of any energy or emotion that it might be holding on to. All energy processing back to love. I call this BTL, back to love. Feel the spine, the whole spine, resting against the floor. Turn off, turn loose, let loose. Thoughts, feelings, and emotions that are harboring in these muscles, and let that go. Processing again, BTL. Feel the back of your shoulders, the back of your arms and hands relaxed into the floor. No tension, just relaxation. Everything your hands touch today, now disconnected, released from you. BTL. The back of your neck, the back of your head. Feel your whole head now relax, turning off, turning loose. Letting go. Feel the whole body without resistance. Allowing with every breath that you take to soften more and more. Letting Mother Earth hold and support you as you rest and heal. We thank the Creator, the universe, our own spirit at this time for our feet. They are what lead us into the future and our movement going forward. So we let go of fear. We allow the fear in our feet to be released and returned back to love. In gratitude, we bring awareness and support to our knees, for sometimes they hold in resistance and stubbornness. This is also out of fear that it reacts. We give them permission to let go of that resistance, and we ask that energy to return back to love. From the tips of your toes to the tops of your hips, we have gratitude. May we continue to move forward every single day. Even if it's through fear, it's through love that we have our courage to continue to move forward. Breathing in now through the crown of the head, we bring the breath down through the body, out through the fingers and out through the toes. While we breathe in a beautiful golden light. Some call it a Christ light. Golden, yellow in color. We breathe that light into every cell, nerve, tissue, muscle, and bone of your body as we ignite with energy and motivation. Motivation that we take into tomorrow and the day after, every day after. Breathing it in and through your body. We hold into this space gratitude and love. Breathing it in through your heart center now. Any other remaining thoughts, feelings, emotions that you have in your mind that are present at this time, pull them into your heart center and shrink them down as though you can hold them like a marble in the center of your hands. And hold them into the heart center and wrap it in a beautiful bright pink. Know that you hold everything you need within your heart. You know what you know when you need to know it. You have what you have when you need it. And right now, just breathe in to that love that is existing right there in the center of your chest. Breathe it in and breathe it through your body. Start to rock your head a little bit from side to side. Start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. We begin waking your body up. When you're sure that you're wide awake, roll over onto your side, take a fetal position. Bookmarking anything that you might want to keep and save for later. And then when you're ready, pushing yourself back up into a seated posture where we would take a breath together before we end. Just coming back into an easy pose that works for you. And then we're going to reach the arms out and inhale, bring them up over your head, bringing your palms together down through the heart center, bowing your head in full awareness of who you are and where you are in this moment. Thank you for taking time to practice with me. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to connect to you and your higher self, your angels and guides in this moment, allowing the channeling of healing and insights to be brought to you on this beautiful day. Thank you for taking time for your own self-care. I wish everyone happy holidays. Namaste. Okay, so Trisha and Linda, if you guys hang on one second, I'm going to go end my recording session. Love you guys. Bye.